Hi, this is Tina VanDerwerker with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I am here with Eric Kaye from Big Time Photo Booth. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm trying to keep as cool as I can
Right?
today.
It's kind of it's a hot one
Not,
out there for sure.
not wanting to leave my house at all because I don't want to go out there.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your business. Photo booths, they've been around for a while. We've kind of seen them in the malls and whatever. Like, what is different about yours?
I mean, it's been pretty big in the wedding and party industry in general now for about 5 or 6 years. Uh, I do mostly open booths, which are large backdrops,
Okay.
and then the equipment is a DSLR camera with a touchscreen tablet. You can see yourself on the tablet. You can, you prepare it. You take your shots, and then I always do printing as well. So you get photo strips printed out. I do have an enclosed booth. I just about never use it.
Yeah.
Um, they're small, and I mean they're fun in the mall. But when you have a party with 150 guests, it can't fit more than 4 or 5 people max in one of those enclosed booths.
Sure.
So the open booths I've taken as much as 18, 19 people in a picture. You
Right,
know,
right. Yeah. So you're there at the time, taking the pictures and kind of running the booth.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do full drop off.
Right.
Um, it's just it can get too messy.
Sure. Yeah. Ruin the equipment and whatnot. I'm
Exactly.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You've either got 13-year-old kids running around at a bar mitzvah, or you've got wedding guests that have been drinking all night. You know,
Exactly.
it's
Protect.
just I'd rather be there, make sure things go smoothly. Other
Yeah.
than that, otherwise I'm at home getting the call in the middle of the party saying something broke, and I
Sure.
so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what made you decide to do that?
Um, I got divorced back in 2016, and I wanted to have a secondary income. I'm an IT guy for the state, and
Okay.
full, and I wanted a secondary income. And I looked at retail, and I looked at I could go work at Target, I could go do this, but I none of it. All of it took too much of my weekly evening time with my kids and everything.
Sure.
Um, I tried to start a karaoke business because I love doing that, but uh, I only had Mondays and Tuesday nights free every week, and nobody wanted a Monday night karaoke.
Right.
So, and then I was at a wedding. God, it was my old bass player's wedding for the first time probably in 10 years because I'm at that age where no one's getting married anymore.
Yeah.
And they had one, and it was so much fun. I hadn't seen one because they didn't do them back when I was married.
Sure.
Um, and So I started looking at it. I started looking at what the attendant was doing. Um, started, started looking into the return on investment. What kind of capital do I need? What kind of advertising do I need? What kind of money can it pull back? And I just like the idea. I'm a personable person. I will sit there and talk to anyone at a party. I'll dance behind the booth when the music's going. I
Nice.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Professional. It's like a professional wedding crowd. You know.
Sure.
And so it was a good gig for me. It worked. I'm
Yeah.
also an IT guy, so that side of the road is easier for me to handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So kind of what was it like when you first started?
Let's see. When I first started, I actually started it with a partner. I had a friend who had a lot of businesses of his own, and I thought that would be a good thing to have someone with that kind of experience. So he started it with me. I ended up doing. He ended up handling the accounting side, and I handled most of the business of the actual booth side.
Mhm.
And then after the first year, I bought him out because I felt like I was mostly doing most of it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, first year I think we did 15 jobs. They were way under market value. I would take whatever I could get.
Sure.
A
Yeah.
lot of inexpensive school jobs, elementary schools, and I've done elementary school fundraising before, so I know what their budgets are like. So
Right.
I did those kind of things. I was taking jobs out of state. I did like Vermont weddings and things. Just anything to get really comfortable with it.
Sure.
It's the kind of business that I mean, I spend plenty of money on advertising and things like that, but really it's word of mouth that in the long run is what you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for
First,
sure.
after 4 or 5 years, you really want people calling you
Mhm.
that either this is their next event or they were at their friend's party and they loved it. That's kind of what you're looking for. So yeah, it
Sure.
started slow. The goal originally was just to have enough to to be able to take the kids on vacations and things,
Right.
um,
Right.
and then it just kind of kept building from there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's going pretty well at this point. Anything that people don't know about the photo booths that you would kind of like to share,
Hmm. Uh,
or any odd requests that you've gotten from people?
any odd requests? Not too much, I don't think. I mean, I can't think maybe off the top of my head. I have, I wouldn't say I've stopped doing outdoor jobs, but I've slowed them down a bit because backdrops tend to take off like sales.
Right.
You know, I broke 2 backdrop stands just in the month of May and June
Oh,
from
geez.
from elementary school and middle school parties. The
Yeah.
wind, when they just go, and part of the stand stays and it just twists, and the next thing you know, you're buying another stand. And they're
Right.
not.
And
They're not.
it has been so windy lately too. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
It was really windy. What was the question? Any weird?
Any odd things or something that people don't know about a photo booth and like how
Um,
it works or what to expect?
I don't think so. As we were discussing before, there are people that do drop-offs, and I prefer to run it myself.
Sure.
Or I have a few people that work for me occasionally. Um,
Yeah.
I like to be in control of it. It's expensive equipment,
Sure.
And it's expensive software, and it's everything that goes with it, and you have to learn the lighting and how things all work together. Other than that, nothing really strange I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. And what are your goals over the next year?
For the next, this has been a really good year, I have to say. Knock on wood.
Right.
After a year and a half off with during COVID.
Right.
I was fortunate that this is my side hustle.
Sure.
This is, but I mean, I know a lot of boothers and DJs and such that were basically out of work for a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that it came back with a force.
Yeah.
Probably did 6 proms. I mean, there's like probably another half dozen middle school, elementary school event. It one after the other. So I've actually enjoyed a little bit of a slowdown this summer, which is kind of nice. And by slowdown, it's maybe one a week, 2 a week, versus 6 in a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which gets crazy.
I was gonna say because you said you had people with you, but if you're gonna have to do these, you're setting up, taking down, setting up, taking down. That would be a lot for a whole weekend.
Oh yeah, I do 70% of them myself.
Yeah.
I do. I think that's probably my goal for next year. So I have financial goals for this year that I was looking for. But for next year, I'm going to try and step back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do a few less of them physically myself.
Sure.
Administrative a little more.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the idea of the entrepreneurship of it is, you hire people and then that frees you up to do other things or do more of what you want to do. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you want the money. I mean, if I work it myself, I get all the money. But
yes.
it also means, they're mostly Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
And I have things I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. So where do you live right now?
I'm in Scotia.
And your business is pretty much out of your house at this point?
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep I have a little storage area where I keep everything. And then I take things out to start, to prepare for each job, and then they come and go in and out of the house.
Right. What do you like about Scotia and your general neighborhood and your area?
It's walkable. You can go for a walk. You can, if you want to, go down to Cumbies or Stewart's or Gabriel's or whatever. It's all. I mean, the sidewalks are not in great shape, but that's a whole other issue. But I grew up in Staten Island, so so I don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere with the next house being a mile and a half down the road, and I have to get in the car to, just to get a gallon of milk.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I like about Scotia, and the people are friendly.
Sure.
It's just a nice neighborhood to raise your kids in.
Yeah. No, it's a great town. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. Any favorite restaurants or things that you like to frequent?
The Mohawk Tap Room, I don't go there as much as I used to, but that's always great. Jade Bistro is one of my favorite sushi places.
Mhm.
Throughout the capital region, I say they're one of the better sushi in the capital region.
Yeah.
Um, in Scotia, I mean, there's not a lot. It's not a big business area. A storied coffee is always good. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lots of pizza places.
Again, I'm from Staten Island.
So why is it important, do you think, that people should kind of shop in their local towns, or, shop local, if you will? You're a small business, so obviously you want people to support you, and then you want to support other small businesses.
I mean, for one thing, the money stays local.
Yeah.
When I make money, I'm going to go spend it at the Gabriels, the Stewarts on the corner.
Sure.
I sponsored August 6th. I'm sponsoring a band at the Collins Park.
Okay.
Big brass band. I want to say something along those lines. And my kids go to the school, so my tax dollars go into the schools. So when you support local, that's where your money goes. When you go to, I can't mention names. When you go to a big box store, your money goes to their corporate. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have to hire local, so it doesn't all go away.
Sure.
It's important for those people to have jobs,
Yeah.
but the profits, they go off to to corporate, wherever that may be, to shareholder.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So what does the future hold for you? What are your next steps? You said you want to next year you want to have somebody kind of taking over more of the party stuff, but do you want to grow a little bit more, or?
I'm still trying to figure that out. And I thought about teaming up with a DJ and forming, turning into one entertainment company.
Sure.
Thought about DJing myself, and then I looked into it and I realized this is more than I want to handle right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut back, and that
Right.
busy.
Starting something else is not the way to go. Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly looking at the trends to see what comes in, and I honestly I avoid the trends. I have been avoiding things come out. A couple years ago, the mirror booth was a really popular thing. It's like, I don't know if you've seen them. They're like a 4-foot tall mirror, and everything's touchscreen. It's pretty cool, but now you can find them all used because it was a fad.
Yeah.
Right now, the 360 booth is a big thing, which is a video booth where you stand on a circular platform, and the camera actually circulates around you.
Oh, okay.
Which again is very cool, but
Yeah.
you can't fit 10 people in a picture.
Right.
Grandparents are not getting on that thing.
That's for sure.
A lot of weddings, and you want the family on those things, and you're not getting an 80-year-old woman to stand on the spinning platform.
Right. Right.
Occasionally you might, but generally speaking, I don't feel like it's a crazy safety liability. Arm is swinging around these people, and again, drink a bit at these events, and be dangerous.
For
so
sure.
I spend a lot of time avoiding the trends and just building up on the equipment that I have.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, basic is the way you start is usually the best way. I mean, just stick with what stick with the basics, because there's always that next fad, there's next crazy thing, but that doesn't always last very long either.
And I'm always curious. I don't know I'm curious where the business is going to be in several years from now. Do I plan on doing this 25 years from now? I don't imagine so. Right. But what is it going to be in 3 or 4 years? There were a couple thought this is never going to last because kids can take their pictures with their phones. Yeah. But it's the experience more than the photo. Right. Going up there and doing that with their friends is 50% of what you're paying for when you bring a photo booth in. Right. It's not having the picture. It's that experience. It's giving them, something to do. They also get photos printed out, which, I mean, I have teenagers.
Not a thing.
Right. Pictures on their phone, not one single printout. Sure. So, so there's that.
They get the props to play with and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Props. Little kids love it.
Sure.
I don't always love that so much, but they you end up being a babysitter some nights, and that's always frustrating. Yeah. Some parents are just like, oh, go play by the photo booth.
Right.
You're 7 years old. Go hang out over there while mom and dad party over here.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, suddenly I'm babysitting for 3
Yeah.
hours.
And they're like rifling through all your stuff.
Right. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've been there. All right. Anything else you want anybody to know about your business?
Let's see. It's fun. I mean, it's I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
It's work. I mean, it's exhausting. It's work, but it's
Sure. But
I
it's
love doing.
fun, yeah.
I love weddings. I love bar mitzvahs. I especially love proms. I find proms to be very. I don't know. You take a bunch of high school kids, you put them in tuxedos and dresses, and you give them a
Yeah.
fancy out, and it's just kind of exciting for everyone. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a bit. I mean, you know, when you hire me, you're getting a guy who's actually going and enjoying what he's doing.
Right. Right.
And I block out the big space here in my talk. I don't know. With my business, I try to keep the prices reasonable. There's always going to be cheaper, but no matter what you do, there's always going to be cheaper.
Oh, sure.
You know,
You get what you
get-
pay for sure. Yeah.
back. But I know a lot of companies out there that'll charge, 50% more than what I do.
Right.
But I want it to be accessible.
Yeah.
I'd rather do more jobs, even though it's more work. I'd rather do more jobs, but know that, all these families were able to get a really great party.
Yeah.
And great memories to have. I give not only you get the printed photo strips, you can email and text the photos right from the booth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can also use the Apple Drop if you have an iPhone.
Uh-huh.
And then later that week after the event, I put all their photos up on Flickr, and they can download and share, and I don't charge any extra for that. So they can,
Nice.
200, 250, 300 photos, everything taken. I don't filter. I don't care how bad the photo was. You do what you want with it.
Right. Right. That's where the IT techie person comes in, that you can do all those things.
Exactly.
Upload here, there, and everywhere.
Touch any of your photos. For schools, it's always a central person, though. Obviously, I give the photo to the client of the school that hired me.
Right.
They distribute. That is not on me. Those are children. Pictures of children. That is not on me.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're what else? I don't know what else I could say. But it's fun. It's affordable. Gives you great memories. They make great party favors. People still do wedding favors these days.
Yeah.
I also sell those acrylic magnet sleeves.
Okay.
So you can give those out as your favors.
Yeah.
Without having to go out and come up with some, silly looking candle just to give away something for,
Right.
supposed to. And it's kind of great. I get to meet people from all over.
Yeah. I bet.
As I said earlier, I'm from Staten Island. I just did a wedding this past Saturday in Roxbury, New York, which for me is out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
No cell service, 10 miles,
Yeah.
But the whole family was from Staten Island.
Oh, nice.
Like, oh my God, these are my people. This is great. I love it.
Yeah.
It was just, that was really fun for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've done a lot of proms. I've done pictures of dogs, and other animals people bring with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing too crazy that I could think of, or that I can say on the air,
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. This is Eric Kaye from Big Time Photo Booth, and I am Tina VanDerwerker from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
All right. Thank you.